Hey folks, welcome back to Let's Play Yakuza Like a Dragon. I'm Serious JG, and we are reporting. We're exploring a dungeon, but this dungeon only has 2 levels. Second level is a little bit more involved than the first level. It's got more enemies in it, but that's it. So I want to go through it, show it to you. It's the place for off-screen grinding at the end of the game. So this video, unless we still have some to do after this video. See, we got Christmas garbage bags, which turn out to be people, gifted gatherers. This is a weird game.
You sure you want to get hurt?
You think you can win?
I think you can win.
Games yet?
So let's try. Oh yeah, it is all enemies, not just enemy area. So I was incorrect in my assessment of essence of trick shots.
Time to clear the way.
These guys deserve whatever happens to them. They are weird little men who are wearing like garbage bags normally, or toxic waste bags, and now are wearing garbage bags that are kind of vaguely supposed to be Christmassy. They're freaks, and I don't like them. They apparently strongly resisted that. I have a feeling they're going to strongly resist Essence of Elegance too, but let's give it a try. Just for the hell of it, we'll watch the whole thing. Though I don't even know that this one shows the enemies, does it? I guess it does. They're resisted, not as much as they resisted the gun-based attacks. What is your ultimate stuff? Have you even unlocked all of it? Ladder acrobatics is all enemies power extreme.
Eyes on me.
Oh, this is a weird one if I remember it right. I think I've seen it. I don't remember if I showed it off on screen. Oh, he's gonna be like doing a Mo Howard thing here. Or actually it's more of a curly. So he's one of the Chinese acrobats of Taipei. I don't understand this one. But yeah, it's basically stupid. It hits everybody with a ladder. Now this is a big waste of MP, but hopefully we'll get some more soon. And we haven't seen it in a while, so let's watch Essence of Orbital Laser. Kasuga's. Did that satellite actually say Kasuga on it somewhere? We have a close-up of something that appeared to say Kasuga. Anyway, this kills them, but doesn't hurt us. I mean, obviously. But we'll need to be a little bit more careful with MP in the next battle, unless it has a invested vagabond in it. Because we'll know then that we'll get our MPs back at the end of the battle. But we probably won't. I don't think the next battle has one of those guys. I think the next battle, I think I remember what it is, and it doesn't have those guys in it. So we'll want to be a bit more conservative about how we use our MP. Here's a little corner we can check. Doesn't appear to have enemies, just a little bit of loot. Very little bit of loot. A gold plate. Really not worth very much to us at this point. You can sell plates for cash. Gold plates are worth more than silver, which are worth more than paper or whatever. Not worth as much as platinum, but bothering with going to the pawn shop and selling those items is not really a thing right now. We get 3 million yeni bucks a shot if we go to the business mode. So that's pretty much what we do.
Just gonna stand there?
No, she's not just gonna stand there. Oh, you're talking to them. So yeah, what Jungi there did on his turn didn't really matter. She killed everybody with Essence of Elegance. Golden Rhinoceros. This one seems to be the same every time. This one will also be a golden. Yeah. I'm not sure if these treasures are randomized. It seems like they should, but I keep getting golden bugs. And I think those 2 specific golden bugs. It might be that there are certain things it can be, and I just there's like RNG about which loot you get, but there's like a certain there are certain layouts, and I keep noticing that one. Anyway, we have an invested vagabond in this group, so when my off-screen power leveling, this is a group that I would fight, and the idea is kill the invested vagabond using this attack, and then just finish everyone else off as rapidly as possible. This is one of the easier fights that has an invested vagabond, because one shot of this will finish it. Some of the others are against enemies that are strong against Slash, so it takes a little bit more work. Toxic Mist has been learned.
Look at me go! Hell yeah!
Now, as I recall, the closest thing this place has to a final boss battle is to the north. So we will go deal with the southern part of the dungeon first.
Should I
There's a
open it?
decent chance there's an enemy in this safe, but there's not. There's a Fable hat. That is a piece of armor. That would be like the next tier up. But it's decided I like the second to last tier's stats better than the last tier. And a Fable hat is something I would have thought about making for myself. A set of those for people to use, but it's kind of a 6 1/2 dozen of the other, and it would be really expensive to go prepare them. So like he's got a cyber helmet. If I did the Fable hat, I would lose just a little bit of physical. I'd gain quite a bit of magic, but lose a little bit of physical defense and also physical resistance. So, like, again, it's like, it's probably slightly better overall, but there's a 6 1/2 dozen of the other thing going on here. And actually going out and making them is expensive, really expensive. They're like, I think they might be the most expensive hat you can make at Romance Workshop.
Watch me.
Watch me rock.
You sure you can beat me?
Terrorizing Trample. Let's use that on the new enemy, who is Broke Breakman. Total elimination. I don't see how that's trample, but
I got this.
yeah, Essence of Elegance, extremely useful for clearing out crowds. Because it takes special enemies with like resistance to bladed before almost anything can survive that. You got like little mini boss level of enemies required before they're going to get out of that attack. And I imagine I will be using quite a bit of that in the post-game super dungeon with, you know, stocking up on MP items. And here's another battle with an invested vagabond. This guy, the Arminator, is a pain in the butt. Oh, he just took our attack down. It is not... Well, invested vagabond takes 1 damage from everything anyway, so kind of doesn't matter for that.
You can win.
A gift for you.
Maybe it did make a difference, though.
You're in for it now.
So she has to go for Bullet of Honor to finish it.
All the fun and games yet?
See how it's done?
Eyes on me.
On it.
And now we've got it. Arminator is going to be much more resilient than the Johnny Gales.
Bring it on.
I think they're weak against lightning.
Who's gonna own your ass?
Yeah.
And because we just defeated, we can afford to go all out to finish this, but...
Could be better.
Might like you better if we slept together.
Be still, would you?
Because he doesn't take that much damage from, I guess he took 1 damage, even though he was down from a physical attack by Jungi there. So you can see he's pretty resilient. And now I'm doing these little follow-up attacks just because they're faster than searching through command inputs for something that would do more damage.
Stronger.
Excellent.
Excellent. I'm glad to hear you're getting stronger.
Hell yeah.
Pearl is quite useful, and I end up getting one per each trip down here, because the treasures don't reset, but the enemies do. Well, the treasures reset if you leave the entire dungeon. If I go, what I do is I go through the first floor, not fighting anything, then get to the second floor, kill just the groups that have an invested vagabond, then go back to the first floor, save if I feel like I need to. It just like go to the first floor and then back to the second floor to reset the enemies. The treasures don't reset. So I'm getting one pearl for each trip to the dungeon, but not each trip to the second floor. And the pearl is worth getting because it's a crafting item I need for fancy pants stuff.
I wouldn't underestimate me.
Jack the Ripper, don't underestimate us.
Are you done with all the fun and games yet?
Watch me.
Watch me rock. Banshee
You sure you
Bayonet?
can beat me?
Don't even think we've seen this one before. Let's check it out.
For a magic trick.
Oh, he becomes invisible. Okay, I didn't even know that was a thing.
You think you can win? Are you done with all the fun and games yet?
Yeah, there's often like one enemy in a group that's resilient enough to get past that attack. Usually no more.
Just stand there. Who wants to go?
Check this out.
On.
Dragon Vortex.
You're in it now.
Out of my way.
Sanguine Blade Dance.
Okay. Let's go.
Okay, it takes an entire turn to do and then does extreme damage. Got it. Tendon Cutter, I don't know if we've seen in a while.
You sure you can beat me?
Well, I probably could if it was one-on-one, he says. It's not true, but it's like he's not happy with his form. Like, he can't really complain that the numbers aren't even, though, because he started with, like, 5 or 6 allies. They just all got defeated before they could take a turn.
I did it!
Alrighty. And even more little loots over here, probably. Golden Stag Beetle, but that's one that I'm not getting a lot of because I went through and cleared this whole place once, but then, you know, I wouldn't have a reason to fight that battle if I was just here trying to level because there's no invested vagabond. And it's not blocking me from getting to a battle with an invested vagabond. Even if it was, I would just run up, like, every so often it takes more than one attempt to run away, because you can fail to run away, but I don't know if dexterity or agility affect it, but Jungi goes first and almost always is able to successfully run away when I decide to run away.
Watch me.
Kind of wish he didn't go first because things go really quickly if somebody who is the matriarch goes first. Matriarch Venezia here. Aerie or Psycho, either one as a matriarch. If they go first, they win a lot of battles with just one turn by using that attack. And we took down the Feral Felon, which I would imagine I've done in my off-screening as well, so we have to report that at some point. We can continue our dungeon crawling.
Well,
Cut Purse, Mask Raider. These are all going to be like, not palette swaps literally, but like variations on enemies we've already seen. His ultimate is so much less powerful than hers.
You're in.
I got this.
Well, I think that's his personal ultimate regardless of class. It might be the ultimate of the assassin class that he's in. Is he an assassin or is he something else? Because Zhou, I think, is a hitman class. No, he's hitman. Zhou is gangster. Okay. So he's hitman the Cobra. But he doesn't do as much damage as a matriarch, which is also a kind of a weird Yakuza-y thing. There's like not just one room, there's an entire path back here? No, it's just one room that you have to turn to get to, I guess. Oh no, it's kind of an entire path back here. And I thought for a while this was like the secret final ending based on that Mexican statue, but it doesn't seem to do anything, that statue being there.
I'm over here.
Essence of Assassin Dive. Start off with trick shots. See if we can get rid of the support warriors, and then we're going to have to focus on the McNugget Messiah, because he will survive this. He is a weird enemy, dudes. And possibly dudettes, but anyway, probably not that many. Try Essence of May. We haven't used this in a long time. Not with this, and never, I think, with this set of characters. See, I don't think this is... The attacks are specific to the character, but not to the outfit. I mean, the job. So she was throwing like the razors, like she would normally be doing, throwing staplers and stuff in her office ensemble. All right, I think he had an ultimate that was one target. That would be an appropriate thing to use here. Beast Brothers. Essence of Deadly Beasts. We'll try that instead. Yeah, this guy's really resilient. I should probably be using magic and not these different physicals. But I figured it's a good time to show them off, since I don't use them often. So he'll get up from this having taken little damage, and it'll just look silly. So he just got silenced. We've seen that recently. Let's try freezing these McNuggets. He resists that. Try fulminating forecast. That's probably going to be the most effective. He resists that. Fire, maybe?
My turn.
He just resists everything. That's basically what we were dealing with.
Hope you're ready.
Oh, he's bleeding. That's good. Bloody McNuggets.
Right.
Are you done with all the fun and games yet?
Because he's not that dangerous. He's just really difficult to get rid of. And he has that weird, like, you know, he concentrated on what he was doing, and it comes back like a boss from the original Breath of Fire.
You wouldn't underestimate me. I got this.
I'm over here. On it.
I just want to watch him bleed out.
Well,
Right.
Oh, damn, he didn't quite bleed out.
Watch me.
Oh, well. I don't have the patience to go through an entire turn of again, so we'll punch him to death. Job rank up for Adachi. Look at him go. Soon I'll be almost as good as my job as an assassin who's impersonating me would be. Raw sapphire ore. Bronze plate.
Should I open it?
Should he open it, folks? I think he should. And get a gold anklet. But yep, there's nothing... It's just here. Like, it doesn't serve a purpose. You can knock it over. That actually happens sometimes during combat. It's kind of random that we didn't. But it doesn't... Yeah, there's nothing to be done with it, so... It's just kind of a fun little thing they've got. It's not really an Easter egg. It's not really difficult to find or anything like that. Let's see if we can step on it here, because we're going to be cutting it close to whether or not we can win this whole dungeon in this video now. There's not that many encounters left, but the last one we haven't had yet is one of the most annoying. So I'd like to... What we're going to do is ignore those enemies to the right because they actually have an invested vagabond in our battle I would normally do. So I want to use them right before the end as kind of a refill for our MPs and stuff, actually. Because winning that fight will level us up. Since it's got an invested vagabond in it. So we're going to fight the second to last fight. Or what would normally be the second to last fight. Backtrack and get a fight with an invested vagabond. And then go through with full MPs and everything to do the last fight. Because this one won't be too bad. That guy's going to die nameless. Hosto the Mosto, nameless, and two the Fists. They don't get any of that guy Kit Fisto because he likes girls. We've got some interesting looking enemies here, so let's not skip past this because I just realized this might be your only chance. Oh no, they're just going to concentrate on this, the Fist. I thought Nameless might be interesting. Nameless is wearing... Ah, screw it. We'll just take a look. If this doesn't kill Nameless, we'll... Or if this kills Nameless and we don't get to see Nameless very much, we'll figure it out through the Sukadex.
Too easy.
Moving up in the world.
Nama's moving on up. Oh, I feel bad now I didn't take that picture when they all posed. Oh, and I guess I didn't realize how close I was. I'm going to have to do that off screen, take another picture, because I was close to professional photographer. Smartphone you get through this menu. I was thinking of a different game that has a phone that you get through a different way. License skills you picked up in both a stint as a nurse and as a vagrant, the kind of guy who'd be a wizard in an RPG. Rifle in combat may swiftly turn volatile and violent, flying into a savage frenzy. Operative affiliated with the Goba Jewels, he's martial arts, but also well guarded. Oh, I was going to try to rush so that we could see the end of this, of everything. Shadow Diver. But I did want to, I don't know if I'll recognize them by the little portrait. This nameless person. These guys, by the way, are hanging around all over the city. Subjugation Coon. Not sure why. The fishy founder, who looks kind of Jesus-y. The living god of a shady religious group that worships a chicken, said to lay miraculous, immaculately conceived eggs. They're making fun of Christianity, folks. There is Nameless, a shadowy hacker capable of taking control of any network workable. Oh, never mind. They're not really that... I mean, they've got this mask on, but that's about it. There's a different enemy, I thought, that had a weirder appearance. So, yeah, there's a... You must have done the basic construction job. Door blocking the main way out of here. But when you see how this dungeon wraps up, you'll understand why I did at one point think I had missed something and went back and checked. There's this Urbane Legends. But yep, this would be a battle. We would usually be the third one that I would actually do, because one that we already got is the one I'd usually do last. She's going to do Essence of Elegance to get rid of the Urbane Legends. And the Outliers are a pain to defeat. They're weak against fire. It just takes a long time to get them.
Out of my way!
You sure you can beat me?
Cool.
But it is nice when they line up together. Because there is some area of effect on this one. They don't always cooperate like this. They're often like really far apart. And they have an instant death attack. Which is why Kasuga now has to have an immune to instant death attack on at all times, because the game is automatically over if he gets killed. We don't have the opportunity to heal him. We can bring back any of our other party members, we can't bring back Kasuga.
Bring it on.
Who wants to go?
But I'm using MPs very freely, and you're not always going to be able to get away with that in every situation. Especially once we get fully leveled up in the jobs that we want to use at the end of the game, and we're not always getting like bonuses from leveling, of occasionally getting new MPs. Let's do Fulminating Forecast. Will probably finish it. They're weaker against fire. I thought it would be enough. It was not. It's okay. While you're down and can't defend, you will take more damage than you've been taking. And everybody leveled up, or got job level up, so we can go into this last battle of this dungeon. Not the last dungeon of the game, but the last one of these sewer dungeons, where there's like, yeah, there's no real story. We're just, the first sewer dungeon had a story, because you fight through it to escape, because that's where you get taken by the Chinese mafia when they're all torturing you. Before Zhao turns out to be the nicest dude ever. And, but you can go back to it for no real reason other than to fight enemies, and it's different enemies you fight anyway. It doesn't even seem to be the same layout. And then the other ones really just don't have. It's not exactly a sewer dungeon in Sotenbori, it's just like this weird elevator dungeon. And then this is just a sewer dungeon. Good story in these games, but they're not big into having like... This came from a fighting, like, series. So it's not really well, you know, it wasn't like an automatic, like, oh, we can just make this into a turn-based RPG. Like, no, they didn't really have a thing in the old games where you would have dungeons. They had something more like the chapter end fights we get, where you fight specific enemies and there's dialogue and you fight another group of enemies. It works more like that. So now we got Scarred Yakuza, Captain Cruncher. These guys are a major pain in the ass. They just take forever to defeat. For some reason, everybody here's got better dexterity than us. Dark Sweeper, Scarred Yakuza, Bohemiarch. Our best bet is going to be to focus on taking down probably the weakest guys first. And honestly, the simplest way to do that is going to be multi-hit Essence, see who's actually going to be vulnerable. Nobody really took that much damage from that. It's not really a very great attack. Or whatever stat it relies on is not one of his stronger stats. Okay. So that's a little more like it.
You sure you can beat me?
Tiger Bane Palm. Damage an enemy with a strike. Take down a tiger may leave the enemy stunned. Let's use that on the Dark Sweeper. Get rid of him as soon as possible. Okay.
Eyes on me.
Scarred Yakuza's probably
Stand
next.
there? Are you done with all the fun and games yet?
But let's see if we can stun anyone with... Let's go to Fulminating Forecast instead of Essence of Orbital Laser. Save the MPs. See if anybody is going to get stunned. Nobody did.
I'm over here. Are you done with all the fun and games yet?
So he is bleeding. That's not good.
Watch me.
It's not terrible, but it's not good. Divine Shot.
You're in it now.
I'm going to do Rapid Shot to see if we can get this Scarred Yakuza bleeding. But this battle is going to take forever. But it's also kind of the end of this. Let's do Trickster's Top Hat. See if we can get anything else going on this guy.
Lucky, lucky, lucky.
Are you done with all the fun and games yet?
You're in for it now.
Alright, that's probably sufficient. I could try getting him burning as well, just to maximize how much damage he takes on his own turns, but it's really hard for an enemy in this game to die from having status ailments on them. I like to put it on the enemies that have super high defense, just because I know it'll activate several times. They don't seem to be particularly weak against
You're in
Just
for
stand
it
there?
now.
Who wants to go?
Come on.
I wouldn't underestimate.
Take this.
they're probably going to poison
Eyes on me.
themselves here.
Are you done with all the fun and games yet? Well,
It's actually good that
Sure you
worked.
can beat me.
He's also got some kind of poisoning thing, I think.
prepare yourself.
He resisted it, though.
I got this.
Hoping to give him a cold. He attacked drunkenly? Oh, he got drunk from some attack we put on him.
Watch me.
I'm over here.
Watch me rock.
Let's take this. A gift for you.
Yeah. Pain in the ass.
Essence of
You're in
Phoenix.
for it now.
Good. Let's try to get rid of you. There's some weird fiery tricks.
See some magic shit.
Oh, good, he's weak against fire. I'm just gonna hit him while he's down, because there's so much lower defense then, but... But yeah, this is by far the most annoying and lengthy battle of this dungeon. And we had a boss battle I interrupted at one point. It's like, oh, we killed Mareface, let's finish the other guy off after. But this one, we're just gonna finish it, because then we'll be done with this dungeon.
I wouldn't underestimate me.
He's attacking drunkenly, but he keeps attacking the right people.
Bring it on.
Should probably try to heal our friend.
You think you can win?
Actually, let's just get regen going.
Endless love.
I got this.
He's sobered up.
You're in for it now.
Alright, I'm done with this guy. Gale Slash should finish him.
Fun and games.
And because I've already just decided this one's going over, I'll let this play out, so it'll look extra silly if he survives. Yeah, Matriarch, Devil Rocker class is fun. Matriarch class seems to be, and I'd read this on some guide, but like, it's my experience, I would agree, far more useful, even though Devil Rocker's kind of fun.
Plan here.
Yeah, no, you have a legitimate gripe. Let's do Secret cocktail. Might get him drunk, but hopefully not.
Good to go.
Bring it on.
So, it hasn't worked. The poison bottle hasn't worked, but poison mist did. And I'm into these guys having all the status toxic mist, all the status ailments they can, just because it eats away at their health slowly.
Bring it on.
And that time it poisoned only Kasuga. So that sucked. Let's see if we can get this guy burned instead.
You're in for it now.
I got this. I have secrets too.
Secret to the use! They are weak against cold, but
You sure you can beat me?
they're not getting hit with the cold stat. That's what I was kind of hoping they would.
There's something about this. Bring it on.
He should stop bleeding on his own eventually, at some point. But yeah, I think we just go with cold.
Eyes on me. Please.
What is Dionysian wine? Spew out an area. Any enemies around them drunk, but even get yourself drunk. Don't want to get Kasuga drunk. Get rid of that bleeding and his poison.
You're
Then-
in for it.
And then I'll use Ares' turn to heal Kasuga.
You think you can win? Who wants to go?
Because she has that power.
I'll show you.
And then it'll be back to throwing ice at the guy who's already poisoned.
All the fun and games.
Take this.
Just stand there. Who wants to go?
You sure you can beat me? I got this.
She's got various things that can make somebody bleed. And they're not immune to that.
I'm over here.
Bring it on.
I don't think.
Games yet?
But we finally got rid of that one.
Out of my
I guess I'll just keep throwing ice, and if he gets the ice, the cold status, I might switch to
Yeah? Who wants to go?
something else for some of the characters just to, oh, he's got Frost Bazooka, which is nice and cheap.
Done with all the fun and games yet?
He showed that he resisted. I guess that's just, he was blocking. He's still weak against it.
Bring it on.
I'll show you.
But yeah, this battle takes forever.
Watch me.
Take this.
Who wants to go?
You would think this Warrior of the Sea would actually be fairly resilient against cold, actually.
Come on now.
But apparently the Frost Bazooka is blockable, and these
Sure you want to get
ice bucket shots are not. So it is not a good idea to use Frost Bazooka. He never got any status ailment on him after all that, but he's finally down. Which means that we win.
Moving up in the world.
Yep. It does. And as reward for our victory, we've got a whole bunch of safes. Several gold safes, and then the ladder out of the dungeon, because we have, in fact, explored the whole dungeon now.
Should I
So you can
open
get
Got it.
a pink ribbon, which has something to do with
Sweet.
one of the female-only Queen's Bondage. Interesting.
Should I open it?
I really hope none of these is an enemy, because that'll take a time. Minister Robe
Should I
and
open it? Sweet.
Cyber Boots. We know what the Cyber Boots are. We've been using them for a long time. The pink ribbon, which may actually be a hat now that I think about it. Yep. And it boosts the chance of applying status ailments from idle skills. That's a pretty... I mean, it could be useful if you're playing as an idle, but obviously nothing else. And then for armor, we got Queen's Bondage. Chance on normal attack to apply Charm. Interesting. And you can use it on either of the ladies, regardless of what job they are doing, to get Charm from normal attacks. Which sounds pretty good, except it does have considerably lower defense than other stuff. Like, it just doesn't do... Yeah, I probably won't be using it. And then there's something like Prime Minister Robe or Minister Robe. Boosts attack of magic. So not a bad choice for a mage, potentially. But that's it for this video. When we come back next time, we will actually have loaded state from when I did more off-screen grinding to have an even more powerful warriors in our party. I'm Mysterious JG. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you guys next time when we advance the story. Bye-bye. Well, maybe we'll just wander around town and get dialogues. But we'll be doing something. See ya.